Okay, here we go. Boston mayor slammed after sending no whites Christmas party invitation. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has found herself at the center of controversy after a holiday party invitation blunder. The invitation, exclusive to electeds of color, was mistakenly sent to all members of the Boston City Council by aide Denise Dos Santos, the mayor's director of city council relations. Around 15 minutes later, Dos Santos sent a follow-up email acknowledging the error and expressing apologies, as only minority councilors were meant to receive the invitation, excluding their white counterparts. The email read, "I wanted to apologize for my previous email regarding a holiday party for tomorrow. I did send that to everyone by accident, and I apologize if my email may have offended or come across as so. Sorry for any confusion," the aide added. "Sorry for any confusion this may have caused." Boston's City Council currently consists of 6 minority and 7 white members. The revelation of the No Whites holiday party stirred backlash and ignited discussions on social media. The incident has sparked a broader conversation about inclusivity in the political landscape. Councilor Frank Baker, a white Democrat, criticized the move as unfortunate and divisive, but emphasized that it didn't personally offend him. Criticized the move as unfortunate and divisive, but emphasized that it didn't personally offend him. "I don't really get offended too easily," Baker told the Boston Herald. "To offend me, you're going to have to do much more than not invite me to a party. I find it unfortunate that with the temperature the way it is, we would further that division." Meanwhile, Councilor Brian Worrell, a black Democrat poised to become the vice president of the council, defended the party, stating that it was not out of the ordinary. "We make space and spaces for all kinds of specific groups in the city and city government. This is no different, and the elected officials of color has been around for more than a decade," Worrell explained. Conservative social media users expressed disapproval of the racially segregated holiday party. New England radio host Howie Carr humorously remarked, "Mayor Wu is not dreaming of a white Christmas, and she will not be serving white wine tonight, or white meat chicken. No pale faces invited to Parkman House powwow." Rod Dreher, a conservative ex-user, questioned the tolerance of such left-wing practices, writing, "So in Boston, you can't attend the mayor's holiday party if you are white. How much longer are Americans going to tolerate this left-wing racist crap?" Left-wing racist. Right-wing. If you're surrounded by lefts and the lefts have the power, then you are also going to be a leftist. That's natural behavior. It's a very common. Doesn't really surprise anyone. No one is surprised. It's something that they knew was coming, that they were ready for, that they enjoy. Because that's part of it. It has to be entertainment. It has to be fun. You have to like it. Otherwise, you'll never be number one like me. But that's probably not even possible anyway. So don't even dream about being number one. As long as number one is me. I'm number one. And I'm the only one that's number one. The only one. The best is me. Can't give it to you. Really good talking. Really good talking. Around 15 minutes later, Dos Santos sent a follow-up email acknowledging the error and expressing apologies, as only minority councilors were meant to receive the invitation, excluding their white counterparts. The email read, "I wanted to apologize for my previous email regarding a holiday party for tomorrow. I did send that to everyone by accident, and I apologize if my email may have offended or come across as so." The aide added, "Sorry for any confusion this may have caused." We need to start cutting ribbons. Naming ourselves into different titles. Cutting ribbons to celebrate our new official position within the government. High office. High office. You know I want it. But first I need a business, some businesses open. I think we've done some good work in business, and now we want to do more work in politics. So while business is good for some of us are making good money. Not everyone will share that same experience and have that same opinion, but I still have to keep finding success in other areas. But one thing won't change. Okay. Xiang, who was born in Laos and spent 4 years of his childhood in a refugee camp in Thailand, called a friend in Colombia at around 7 p.m. Sunday, saying the men were demanding $2,000, 8 million Colombian pesos, in cash for his release, according to local newspaper El Colombiano. He also told his friend that he was being held at gunpoint. Meanwhile, uh, meanwhile, as he was being held captive, police said a woman was raiding his apartment at around 4:40 p.m., but when police arrived on the scene, she managed to escape. It is unclear if this was the same woman he had met up with earlier. But before any payment could be made, Xiang's body was found in the water of a ravine in La Corcovada, northwest of Medellin, with multiple stab wounds and blunt force trauma, according to El Colombiano. He also had bruises caused by an apparent fall from more than 60 feet. Police say they are investigating whether the group decided to kill Xiang because he may have tried to escape captivity. As Yeong Tao's older brother shared some details about his brother's brutal death with Fox 9, saying that he suffered blunt force trauma to the head and that his captors tossed him over a bridge. His brother said police had caught one of the alleged kidnappers. We have full confidence in the Colombian police that they'll find the people who did this to him and bring them to justice, Ezong said. Rather than grieving over the loss of his life, we want to celebrate what he has done and what he could be doing to help the community moving forward. Tao Xiang's family and friends told Fox 9 that he was the life and soul of the party and passionate about making positive changes to society. Uh, Xiang's family and friends, Xiang's family and friends told Fox 9 that he was the life and soul of the party and passionate about making positive changes to society. The Carleton College political science grad dedicated his life to bridging cultures and speaking for those without a voice, his family told Fox 9. He would drive from here to Wisconsin to Milwaukee to Madison to help people at his own expense. Xiang told KSTP. He did that kind of stuff. He did that kind of stuff. His family is now in the process of creating a foundation in his name, through which they hope to offer scholarships and assistance to those in need, Fox 9 reported. Tao Jer Xiang is of Hmong descent, an indigenous group from East and Southeast Asia. In China, the Hmong people are classified as a subgroup of the Miao people. According to the comedian's website, his father served with the CIA, and his family had to flee Laos after the communist takeover in 1975. He was a comedian, entertainer, motivational speaker, and educator. He embraced the Hemon culture by educating his audience about his origin and helped co-found groups such as the Community Action Against Racism and the uh, Hemong American Partnership. His website states he was married. He was named a Bush Foundation Fellow in 2019. The foundation's website states that he amplified the voices of his community and served as a force for change. Senator Amy Klobuchar, Democrat of Minnesota, released a statement on Tao Jie-seung's passing. "This is a heartbreaking tragedy," Klobuchar said, as per Fox 9. Tao Jie was an incredible person who was constantly working to uplift his community. My office is in contact with Tao Jie's family as they work to bring his body back to Minnesota. Well, that's an interesting story. It's not. It's not always the government that decides who is popular in the media. It can't just be the government. It has to be also opposition to the government. Also has to be popular. Opposition to the government uh, also has to be popular in the media, or in the popular media, in the mass media, or if the whole mass media is just being used for the government and not for any opposition to the government, then the system is broken. Despotic tyranny, no rights, human rights, no torture. Um, uh, but I guess the media has to be free, and that won't happen if there's no understanding that there is an opposition to the government, and the opposition to the government can be powerful because the people can be opposed to the government. So it won't always be the government that's most powerful and with the biggest share of the media. Uh, I always need to connect to the media. I always need to produce content for the media. And I do it because I am a quality content producer. But that work is not free. That work is not free. I have to charge for that work. And that's what the revolution will have to do as well, besides just replacing the government. They should also know what the future system of government should be. The economy, politics, democracy. They have to have a plan for society, and that also includes the socialist revolution and the socialist labor movement and the revolution in power. But that has to be their plan. Or if it's not their plan, that is not going to happen if it's not the plan. But if it is the plan, then it can happen, and it has to happen. It is inevitable. Well, I always have to produce more content for the media, and then when I want to charge them, this content isn't free. You can't have what I'm doing for free. But they're acting like they're innocent when they're not. And whatever punishment they get, they deserve it. Doesn't matter how they got caught. The punishment. Where does the punishment come from? It's not always clear, but everybody knows that evil will be punished. Evil will be punished. Justice will prevail. Okay, that's it. That's close to half an hour. Pretty soon, gotta start up my podcast, or Yeah, my video podcast.